All right, a fantastic question that we got asked is, how do you introduce a young puppy to an adult dog in a household? Well, we're going to walk you and talk you right through it right here, right now. So what we have here is Drogo, 3 to 4 year old German Shepherd, pretty dominant, comes from a home where there's no other dogs or puppies. In the background there we got Rufus, 4.5, 5-month-old, a little bit of a wild child golden doodle, tons of energy, and they actually have not met before, so you're seeing it real time. Rule number 1, both dogs should be under control. What does that mean? You got to have at least a leash attached to the dog. A leash? Yeah, we're going to stick with that. A leash. So bring over Wild Man, and let me show you what you're not supposed to do, because he's actually not a big fan of puppies and other dogs. He's not in it. So Rufus is allowed to do whatever he wants, but we have to be very mindful that what we don't want is Rufus to start jumping on his back and terrorizing the old man. If you do not teach the puppy that behavior is not allowed, then he's going to teach him. I'd rather teach him, because I don't know what he's going to do to say, knock it off. I have an idea. It's going to look something like this. And he's going to snap at him and say, stop jumping on me. Some older dogs are a little more tolerant, but let's just assume for a minute that the dog is not tolerant and does not want a puppy jumping on his back. So that's rule number 1, is that both dogs must be under strict control so that you can control anything that you don't like. For instance, if I didn't like anything here, I can immediately stop it and redirect the behavior. Say, stop doing that. But I'm going to show you something even better. And what we're going to do is this. The best way to introduce a puppy and a dog, or 2 dogs, is to go for a structured pack walk. What's that going to look like? Just like this. Start walking with me. Occupy their mind, give them something to do. Their job is to walk. Our walks are a little bit more like a forced march. They have a job to do, and that's stay next to the person holding the leash. Now, while we're doing this, Rufus can smell him, get to know him. He can get right up to his business and sniff him. He can't do much about the sniffing because, let's try to get an angle here. He can't do much about the sniffing because he's occupied with staying next to me. Because some dogs get a little weird when another dog smells their rear end. They get a little defensive, a little insecure, and they may turn around and snap. So instead, he can't turn around and snap because he's got a job to do. Now, Rufus has met him, sniffed his butt, and got to know all about him, which is like checking out his passport and his history and everything else. Now we're going to walk this way. Start walking. Now, it's his turn to check it out. Slow down just a touch so we can get a whiff. If he's so inclined, he can now get in there and check it out. There he is. He's even going to check out Austin. Where you been, buddy? And your job is to keep him on task. His job is to walk with you while Drogo gets a sniff. Take your time with this. We're kind of fast tracking it, try to squeeze it into a 3-minute video. Do this over 20 or 30 minutes.